between the Cleveland Guardians and President Biden, we should all check in to the Nuthouse. What's up, everybody? Welcome aboard. It is Bubba's Bottom Line for Sunday, July the 25th, and it's hot out, man. It's hot in Vegas, it's hot in Chicago, it's hot everywhere, and the economy is hot as the markets have made new highs, which we'll talk about in our market segment. But, you know, as we look at what's going on, you got to wonder. I think we'll all end up in a nut house here. In the meantime, this update is brought to you by our friends at Family Farms. And, of course, I'll be with Family Farms on Tuesday. I'll actually be with them tomorrow night, but then Tuesday for speaking and talking to all my farming friends. And should be a great time and teach them a few things. And, you know, it's great to be with Family Farms because we're aligned in trying to take care of our farmers. In the meantime, you know, this name change of sports franchises is, to me, about as dumb as it gets. Okay, I don't see them as racist names or, you know, picking on any one particular group. I think those names have been around forever, and trying to change them, I think, is a mistake. Okay, the Cleveland Guardians, really? The Washington football team? I mean, you know, to me, it's an absolute stone joke. Okay, to me, it's about money, and again, this is the problem. Okay, the big conglomerate owners, okay, want more money, so they want to make sure they're on neutral ground. And, you know, I don't know that you start changing everything. You know, I continue to believe we continue to try and get better. Okay, and, you know, this forced change and things like it, I think, are a problem. I mean, you're going to find something wrong with everything. Okay. And even with, you know, with the gender neutral, you know, birthing, please give me a break. Okay. There are certain things that are just what they are. Okay. You are what you are, and that's what it is. And so in the meantime, we'll see where it goes from here. But obviously, we know that Cleveland already announced it. And of course, President Biden, okay, with his new spending plan, encourages people not to work. Now, do you want to live in a country where people don't want to work? Okay. We can see the devastation. First of all, if you've been anywhere recently that needs help, like a restaurant, the service has been brutal because there's no workers. Okay. Do you believe in universal income? Is that what you want to see? Because that's the direction that this country is headed. Okay. Is universal income. Now, I'm not in favor of it. Now, again, as I say every week, whenever I'm whining about something, I mean, I'll be dead. I won't be here to see the total devastation of all this. But do you want your kids and your grandchildren to suffer through what is going on now? And again, it's not just this administration. I want to be clear. This has been going on for many, many years. Okay, we continue to have the debt ceiling debate, for example. Now, I will ask the question, why does the government not have to live on a budget like you and me? Okay, you know, this is the problem when they continually are allowed to create new money to satisfy the old debt, the perfect definition of what a Ponzi scheme is. Okay, and yet we have a delusional Fed chair who's now kissing up to President Biden because he wants to get back, you know, reappointed to the Fed chair because that term is up and it's time for a reappointment. And, you know, can you imagine getting somebody who's more accommodative in there? Someone who doesn't recognize or refuses to recognize that we have inflation. Okay. You know, have you checked your bills lately? Are you paying more or less? Okay. And I think it would be substantially more. So, you know, again, we become a delusional society that believes that the money printing will never end. And we all know that this can only end in one fashion, and that is very ugly. And, you know, Stanley Druckenmiller, who is a noted Wall Street bear, okay, now he's not bearish on everything, okay, but he picks his spots. And he's done very well over the years with his funds. Okay. And he says this is the biggest bubble he's seen in his career. Now, I don't disagree that we're in a bubble. I don't disagree that there will be a meltdown. The only problem is that none of us have the money to try to time when. And of course, on the other side, why would you want to miss out as it continues to go higher? But you can see the reasoning behind his philosophy, because certainly we've gotten to a place in this country that, universal income, more welfare, more this, more that, spend, and now $3.5 trillion is not enough to do the new package. And if you ever looked at the bill, you will find out that not that much of it goes to the infrastructure. So just another problem. And something that is a political issue, okay, is jobless claims plummet in the Republican states and stay flat, which means high unemployment or high jobless claims in the Democratic states. Like, you tell me. I mean, that's a simple number. That's not a political opinion. That's a simple number, okay? But that's because people are going back to work because, again, it's responsible. And if you want to advance in life, whether you're an entrepreneur, you got to work hard, or if you work for a company, you want the chance for advancement. So, so as we look at the situation, and of course we know the housing market has started to come back to earth, and now is at the start. Lumber prices have plummeted. Okay, it's about 70%. Okay, now, housing sales, they're still strong, but they have significantly fallen off. Now, is that just a temporary measure, or is it going to be the trend? We don't know that. All we know is there's many warning signs out there right now. It does not mean that the markets are going to sell off tomorrow. It does not mean that the bubble's going to pop in the next week. It just means it's something to look at. It's something to think about. And I think that we should always keep that in your mind of what is possible. I think that you have to understand, and this is one of the sayings we use here, and that is, be prepared, not surprised. So just don't act on that type of news, but be aware that it is out there, okay? Because it is, okay, something that is real, okay? And and then of course we've got our good friend David Stockman, okay, who used to work for Reagan, out there trying to pitch gold again. Now remember, this guy has been calling the top of the market since 2010. Okay, we're now about 20,000 points higher. Okay, now as far as gold can turn as an investment, I'm an investor in gold. Okay, and as you'll hear in the market report, although I'm short the future right now, I buy physical gold. There's one thing that has nothing to do with the other, but I think you have to be very careful. Okay, when you hear some of the fear that is being peddled out there, because fear creates buying of fear products, and you then find out that, well, maybe they're not so right, and I lost all my money. I lost more money. Okay, so it is just something that you have to be, prepared for. But as we look at the Bitcoin, right, and it's been struggling, and again we'll talk about that as well in markets. But it's now official. The Vegas strip clubs now accept Bitcoin. So, you can now spend your cryptocurrency at a strip club, but it's only a matter of time. There are many places that accept it. They don't announce it. But again, it's going to be more accepted. The biggest problem with the cryptocurrency, especially Bitcoin, was the transaction fees. Okay. And be prepared for your coffee prices to go hiking up at Starbucks with what's going on in the coffee markets right now. And of course, those prices will never come down, but they certainly will go up shortly. But I think the interesting fact of the week, if you all remember, okay, Jamie Dimon said that Bitcoin was crap and cryptos were horrible. And if any of his people were involved, even personally, they would be fired. Well, guess what? JP Morgan became the first of the big banks to have allow their wealthiest investors to invest in the crypto world. So what happened to the fact that it is garbage and you're fired. Well, I guess when it comes to money, okay, that changes, okay, the way that we look at things, right? Again, if you remember this, life comes down to two things. One of them is always money. And again, I give you 1,000 examples, but I won't do it today. Okay. But think about it. Everything that is done always comes down to the bottom line in money. And even with the Federal Reserve, who refuses to recognize that there is inflation, although there are some signs. Now, I think that the Jackson Hole meeting, which is in about, 3 weeks or so, when they have the Jackson Hole, Wyoming, have a Fed meeting, there might be some talk there. They might take a whack at, talking about, maybe starting to hike rates, but I don't know how fast they will be able to hike. The bond market will tell you better as to what that's going to be. And I think another big thing that we have to be very concerned with, okay, and President Biden, I hope you're listening to this, okay, even private companies need the help of government against the cyber attacks, okay. On Thursday, I believe it was, there was a major outage in many of the largest websites in the world, okay, and that was from cyber attacking, which we saw with the Colonial Pipeline not that long ago. And really what they're doing is they're showing you the power that they have, okay? And I think this is one of the things that we do, I think, backwards in general, okay, is we don't prepare for the worst. We continue to wait, and then we have to try to react and catch up once they have hacked in, where I do believe that we should be well ahead of that curve. And I think it starts with your leader saying that we need to get ahead of that curve. It's a very scary thing, this hacking, because listen, they can get into the power. Everything we do is run on computers, so we could certainly see a shutdown of everything. Now, again, I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying that if they can get the Colonial Pipeline and they can hack into Microsoft and Fidelity and all those others, don't forget your money's in one of these brokerage accounts as well. So just be careful out there. As I said, as I always say, just be careful. You never know, but the better technology gets, the better the criminals get at dealing with it first. And I believe that's backwards. I think we should hire the criminals and pay them more so that we can get ahead of them. In the meantime, this is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, July the 25th. And we're going to stop out of here for a break, and we'll be back with our market commentary after the break. Well, kids, we've got some brokerage partners, and, I have many brokers, so I want to be clear, okay? But there are two, one for equities and options and one for futures and commodities, who I prefer, and I certainly prefer for my members. And for futures and commodities, it's the CTG group or Capital Trading. I look at it this way. They have the best customer service. When you call, you don't have to go through this whole voicemail crap. They pick up the phone, okay? They are the only ones I've authorized for letter of direction trading for our futures portfolio. And we have a new one coming out next Saturday. Okay. And of course, they've got some great managed futures products, and I love them so much, they execute my portfolios by letter of direction. So if that doesn't tell you anything, then that's up to you. And certainly you can check them out. Go to info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. That's info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. And for equities and options, there is nothing like Tradier. $10 a month. Think about it. Okay, if you trade anything, you pay more than $10. Here it is, $10 a month. They've got terrific customer service. They call you back or they talk to you on the phone. And you know what's funny about them? Okay, when their website has gone down, listen, they all have gone down. Every broker I've ever had has gone down at one point or another. They keep in touch with you. They let you know. They don't just hide and not answer the phone. Okay. But we have their APIs, which allows us to automate our equity portfolios for you at no cost. Okay, if you want to. Now, again, you don't have to. You don't have to go to Tradier. But again, for $10 a month, I think you'd have to question yourself why you wouldn't want to be there. In the meantime, again, I do have other brokers just to be fully disclosed. And of course, our commodity report written by Andy Heck. Andy is a 40-some-year professional, from a futures trader to traveling the world, okay, in trading physical commodities. Okay, it's called Technimental. If you're in the commodity space and you're not reading this report, please go see a doctor immediately. because something's wrong with you. Okay. Go to BUBBATrading.com. It's called Technomental. And of course, our high school program at Patreon, patreon.com/BubbaTrading. That's patreon.com/BubbaTrading. Now let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line with me, Todd Bubba Horwitz. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line. It is Sunday, July the 25th. And of course, our market update. And sheesh, what a week we saw. My goodness gracious. And it's funny because on the Monday night call, okay, we talked about it right after it happened. We were live and we saw the big collapse. And Andy and I both said, hey, look, it only came down to support. Nothing has really been damaged or changed. And this is not a time to be overly aggressive to the short side. And sure enough, bang zoom, we make new highs. So on Friday, the Dow, the S&P, and the NASDAQ close at new highs. The Russell remains in a downtrend. Now we remain long the Dow, long the S&P, long the NASDAQ, short the Russell. Okay, it's that simple. There's nothing for me to do with it. I mean, we will trade the trend, and when the trend changes, then we'll change. Until then, there is no change. Okay, gold and silver and platinum. Now we don't trade platinum anymore because it's not liquid enough. But gold and silver are still in downtrends. And again, you can write me all the hate mail you want about how good gold is. You can listen to David Stockman. The trends are down. Okay, I buy gold, I buy silver, I buy platinum all the time in physical. But as a trader, I'm trading gold and silver to the short side. Silver is totally broken down. Now, it doesn't mean that it won't change tomorrow. I don't have the answer to that. I know that we'll be short at least until Tuesday, though. Okay. I know we'll be short gold at least until Tuesday, and it better have an awfully big ride. We're not going to be short on Tuesday. So they're both in downtrends, and we're short on both. And that is not going to change until the trend changes. Again, that's our algorithm deciphering all the information. The dollar continues to charge forward. Okay, drilling the rest of the currencies. Now, again, the dollar, first of all, is the number one fair asset along with bonds. Now, we're still long dollars. But remember, dollars are where people want to run to, but we also have this ridiculous fiat currency system globally, and all the central banks around the globe are trying to flush their currency to zero so that they can come up with their own digital currency. But in the meantime, we're long dollars. And bonds and notes, we continue to be long. Interest rates, the 10-year is back around 1%. Now, I do believe that this is going to change. But again, I don't know when. We're long bonds and notes, and we'll stay there for now. But, I do believe long term that, there's going to be a nasty interest rate hike coming, but it could be 2 years from now. Nobody knows that answer, but you watch the bond market, you'll get a better handle because the bond traders hate what's going on right now, and they are the biggest. They're the one market in the world that can put up a battle with the Federal Reserve. Crude, my goodness gracious. If you go back to Monday, it dropped. Now, our levels, we had assigned levels of 66 to 72. It hit 66 on Monday and closed on Friday at 72. Okay, we're still long. There's no reason. The trend has not changed. Remember, the higher prices get, the longer the trends will last. Okay, natural gas. Oh my goodness. Natural gas is at the highest price it's seen since optionsellers.com blew everybody out. All right, it is twice as much as it is normally this time of year in comparison, and but of course, it's got strictly to do with our ridiculous, ignorant energy policy that has given all the power to OPEC, Russia, and China, which is a joke. But again, but we're going to benefit from the long oil. I mean, and the long natural gas because we're long on both. Okay. In the grain markets, it's been a turbulent time. But part of the reason you have so much turbulence is because you've got too many people that think they are weathermen now or weatherwomen, okay, weather people, okay. They think they can tell the weather and they think they're going to get the right reaction off the market. Well, let me clue you in. It doesn't work that way, okay. Everybody can see the weather. Everybody's trying to figure it out. You've got thin markets that could give a rat's ass of what you think about the weather, okay, and they're going to do what they're going to do, and the price action will dictate. And as it stands today, we are short corn, long beans, long wheat, okay, and they've been turbulent times. They have not been, we capitalized big time on the initial move up, and we've been getting chopped up recently. Okay, because again, they go back and forth and they're making much bigger. Wide sweeping congestion is a terrible pattern. Okay, and in the cattle markets, in the meats, we're long feeders, which are up near their highs. Fats or live cattle were still short, but they look pretty good. I think they might have held, Friday. Now, of course, on Friday, I will see how the price reacts tomorrow. But there was the cattle on feed report, so we'll see. It looked like they priced in bullish, but maybe too bullish, so we'll see what it looks like. But in the meantime, we're long feeders, short fats. And in the hog market, we are now turning to long. And I did forget to cover copper in the original part. And copper looks like, we're still shorted, but it looks like it may be breaking out to the upside. So we'll see. And I suspect if it's higher on Monday, we'll probably be long by Tuesday. But again, I don't make predictions. We'll see what it looks like. And in the world of the softs, you've got cotton continues to expand, looking to push through 90. You've got sugar looking to go through 18, expanding big. Cocoa is still headed lower, and we're still short. And OJ, and coffee, which I'm going to talk about those together, because they both went bananas last week because, of course, some weather issues in Brazil, and you've had the Brazilian real, excuse me. Okay, so you saw coffee go up over 30 cents in 2 days. Okay, which is gigantic. Okay, and you saw OJ going ballistic. And again, these are blow-offs, but we are long them both, and we're long both and caught all those moves. Okay, but that is what happens when you follow the trends and trade the trends. And Bitcoin continues to look like a sick puppy as it floats along the bottom around, 30,000 appears to be the key level of support. Now, I would not be surprised if it goes to 20. I would not be surprised if it goes to 15, and I won't be surprised when it goes to 100,000. Okay, look, I own minor positions in the crypto world. Okay, the amount of money I have invested is the amount of money I'd be willing to blow in a weekend in Las Vegas. Okay, again, in other words, everything I've invested there to me is a gamble. Although I am a big believer in the crypto world, I do think that it's going to be a very big market at some point. But at this current time, with 11,000 coins, that's not good. And the total market cap of the entire crypto industry is less than half of Apple. So it's got some time to go, and there's a lot of battles to fight. But overall, we're big believers. But again, being a believer and putting all my money to work, we have to make sure whatever you invest in the crypto world is money that you can afford, like any other investment, but especially here, is money that you can afford to lose. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. Todd Bubba Horwitz. We're going to step out of a break and come back with my commentary. And we'll be back right after the break. Well, kids, again, we talk about, different brokerage partners we have every day. And, again, I just want to remind you who they are. And I remind you that I have other brokerage accounts. But the guys I prefer, and for, commodities and futures, there's nobody like the CTG Group, Capital Trading. And why? Because they got good service. Look, at the end of the day, I care about my members and the service that they get from the brokers that they're using. That's what it comes down to. Okay. I know how frustrating it is. I've been doing this for over 40 years now. I know how tough it is. So it's just easy. So I found the guys that I like that work with us. And so I've authorized as the only ones, letter direction trading through Capital Trading Group. Okay. They trade all my accounts, and they've got some great managed futures products. Okay. Check them out. info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. That's info.capitaltradinggroup.com/Bubba. And for trade your equities and options, look, it's $10 a month. They got a great product at probably 10% of what you're paying. Okay. Wouldn't you rather put that money in your IRA? And they've got terrific service, plus the fact that we have their API. So if you choose, and it's totally your choice, there's no mandate. Okay. We can automate our equity portfolios for free because that's the membership that's included in your membership. And in the hedging, there's a fee, but that's because, obviously it's a class. But again, it's very easy to do, and it does it for you, and it bases it on our formulas. Okay. So again, that's up to you. You can trade wherever you want, but these are the two that we prefer. Family Farms, I'll be there tomorrow night. And of course, Tuesday I'll be speaking. Great partners, great people. I love them. They do such a good job. And they care about the same thing I do. American farmers in general, not just American, because we have some Canadian as well. And there's more. But again, that's the ones I deal with. And in the meantime, okay, our commodity report written by Andy Heck, Technomental, the most concise report, and it also ties in our algorithms. Check it out. Go to BUBBATrading.com at Technomental, and our high school program at Patreon, patreon.com/Bubba Trading. That is patreon.com/Bubba Trading. Now let's get back to Bubba's Bottom Line and my commentary. Welcome back. It is Bubba's Bottom Line, Todd Bubba Horowitz, and I give you my opinion or my commentary every week on things. I opened up with I'm very frustrated with all this name changing, and we have to change everything to be correct, and I don't know that it is correct. I don't know the answer. If somebody's offended, hell, I'd be the first to say change it. I don't know if anybody's really offended or not. Okay, but I do know that I do not like the direction the country is headed. I don't like, and this is not just President Biden and Ned King. Okay, I don't like the whole political system, Republican or Democratic, because I don't like the fact of the amazing amounts of money that we continue to piss away. We have the debt ceiling coming up in August again, and that everybody's going to be wringing their hands over, we're going to default on our loans. And in the meantime, Pelosi and Schumer, they hate each other, but they'll be sitting in a room figuring how they're going to screw us, the American people, once again, by raising the debt ceiling instead of stopping the spending on nonsense. Okay. I mean, again, if you ever saw what they spend their money, forget about the stimulus package, just in general. Okay. Why can't they run on a balanced budget like everybody else? Okay. That's my question. It makes me very uncomfortable, and not for me. It makes me uncomfortable for those who will be around a lot longer than I will, and their families and those below them. Okay. I don't like the treatment of our police officers. Okay. Yeah, there's a few bad ones, but I don't like the treatment. I think you have to show respect to those that risk their lives for $60,000 a year every day on the street. Is there some bad ones? Yeah, there's bad. Is there not any bad politicians? Is there not any bad people at your office? Please. Okay. They risk their life every single day for you. Okay. But yet we have the government pounding on their head, and it's a joke. It's ridiculous. So in my mind, I don't like the direction we're headed. Okay. I don't know what you think, but certainly you're welcome to comment or email me. In the meantime, have a great weekend, because listen, we're live. We're ready to go. We got markets tomorrow. Now, it's going to be slow, so I only warn all of you. If you're trying to trade, this is a time to be careful. Aggression is right at certain times. This ain't it. These are as quiet and as dead as they get. Do yourself a favor. Go to lunch, go to play golf, go to the pool, go play tennis. Do anything but be involved actively, because you'll find a bad trade if you are. Have a great weekend, everybody. This is Bubba's Bottom Line. We'll see you tomorrow with Bubba's Daily Update. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you later.